from the peak of power to the depths of a concrete bunker. Spring 1945, Berlin was burning. The nightmare of the Thousand-Year Reich had come to the end. April 30, 1945, 3:30 p.m. Adolf Hitler in the Fuhrer bunker.
Dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich nicht in diesen Jahren...
Hello everyone, today we are gonna take a journey into one of the darkest yet most tumultuous moments in human history. Yes, the final days of World War II and the downfall of the man who set the world on fire, Adolf Hitler. Imagine spring 1945, not the pleasant spring we know, but a spring that smelled of blood and gunpowder. Europe had been crushed for years under the Nazi war machine, but now the tables had turned. From the east, the Soviet Red Army was surging towards Berlin like a roaring flood, and from the west, the Allied forces were delivering the final blows like an iron hammer. In this chaos, one man who once believed he would rule the world for 1,000 years was now sheltered in a concrete bunker beneath Berlin. His name was Adolf Hitler. No one could have imagined that this proud and powerful man would one day be forced to hide in a rat hole. Now imagine this shelter, its name was the Fuhrer bunker. It was a small, suffocating world that Hitler had built to protect himself and those close to him. Outside, Berlin was drowned in the smoke and ashes. The sound of artillery and bombs was getting closer every moment. Hitler, there in that dark bunker, was no longer the fiery, passionate commander he once was. He had aged, his hands trembled, his face was sullen and pale, and his eyes showed a strange mix of despair and rage. His entourage was the same. They all knew their time was up. It was like a party where the lights are gradually dimming and everyone is leaving. His decisions were no longer logical. On maps, he maneuvered with imaginary soldiers and armies that no longer existed. He screamed, gave senseless orders, and insisted that victory was near, while they could clearly hear the sound of bullets on the bunker roof. It was exactly like a defeated gambler betting his last coin on a game he had already lost. It was April 29, 1945, when Hitler suddenly made a bizarre decision. He decided to marry the woman he had loved for years, Eva Braun. In that hell, in those final moments, it was as if he wanted to carry out a spark of humanity, or perhaps just a customary rite. Before the curtain fell, it was a short, somber wedding, like a small performance before the final collapse. The next morning, April 30th, Hitler gathered everyone, like a father making his last will, with a tired and vacant expression. He shook hands with everyone in his circle and said goodbye, a cold and emotionless farewell, as if neither he nor they were truly present anymore. At 3:30 p.m., Hitler and Eva retreated to their room. A few minutes later, the sound of a single gunshot filled the entire bunker. Hitler ended his own life with a gunshot to the head. Eva accompanied him, taking cyanide. Their bodies were burned with gasoline in the bunker compound, because Hitler feared being dismembered by his enemies after his death, similar to what had happened to Mussolini. Hitler's death, like the fall of the last domino, paved the way for the official end of the war. A few days later, Germany officially surrendered. That day was the downfall of a dictator and the end of a terrifying nightmare for the world. This story is not just the story of one man's death, it's the story of the end of an evil ideology, a great lesson for humanity, and reminder that even the most powerful dictators eventually fall, and that even in the darkest moments, there is hope for a new beginning. Thank you for staying with me. If you liked it, please like the video and subscribe my channel.